What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Luke, Bond's Apartment. Thanks for watching another video. Sorry it's been some time, but we got a few good ones coming down the street here. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, follow Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now introducing bondsapartment.com for all your Bond's Apartment merch. Look at that. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the page. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for coming back. This episode, or this video, is going to be about why Die Another Day is good. That's not right. What's good about Die Another Day? Because Die Another Day, it's not good. It's not good. Pierce Brosnan. We're not going to spend much time on Pierce Brosnan. Everybody knows I'm a 90s kid. I love Pierce. Grew up watching Pierce. He didn't do anything differently in this film than he did in the first three that he did. He's still Pierce. He's still Pierce's Bond. Still charming, still witty, still handsome. Still gets it done. Let's move on right away. Next, Rosamund Pike. Now, what did I like about Rosamund Pike? Wow, that rhymes. So, her character, I actually think was very well written. So I like the fact that she's a young, beautiful agent that plays right into Bond's trap for him. That's his weak spot right there. Easily infiltrate him and MI6. And she plays that character very well, that innocent, good girl, naive character, and then flips the switch and turns into a big old bitch. I mean, come on. She's fantastic with that. The beginning of the film. I love the whole DMZ trading of prisoners. I love that. I love that. The opening title sequence is even great. Driving the hovercraft. All that is great. At this point, you're watching this film thinking, this could be really good. It's not, though. My favorite scene, truly, in one of all Bond films is when he escapes off the boat, swims ashore, goes into the hotel, asks for his usual room.
My usual suite, please.
And then the next time you see him, the beard's gone, the hair's gone, and he looks just like you would, whether Brosnan's your Bond or not, in that moment, you just picture this is Bond. This is, if I were reading a book, an Ian Fleming novel at this point, that's Bond right there. Shaving the face with the razor, Brioni shirt, Brioni pants, getting ready for the Brioni suit. Rachel Grant comes in. He does the little ashtray flip into the mirror, takes the gun, bang. Come on, dude. You can't get better than that. You can't get better than that. Shout out, special shout out to Rachel Grant. How you doing? That kind of segues me into another main thing that I love. I love the Brioni suits. We saw him again in Casino Royale, and then after that, there's no more Brioni. Maybe we'll see it again in the future. I don't know. But, you know, as far as Daniel Craig goes, Tom Ford, no pun intended, suited him well. But Brioni with Pierce Brosnan was just incredible. And he has a lot of great suits in this movie. He looks fantastic in them. That scene, once again, with Rachel Grant, that scene is just perfect. He's got the Brioni suits, or the Brioni shirts laid out on the bed. It just exudes Bond. It exudes luxury. It's a very good brand placement in that scene. Love the Brioni. We miss you. Next, we'll kind of stick on the path with the Brioni, but we'll just talk about Bond's clothes. Bond's clothes, even in the beginning, when he's driving the hovercraft, I like that kind of military, casual outfit he's got on. I love the turtleneck that he wears. He's in Iceland. Probably one of the only good parts about him being in Iceland is that turtleneck, which was later eventually replicated by none other than N. Peele. So that is something else that really sticks out, is the way he's dressed. The little Tommy Bahama type, Hawaiian shirt. You can go anywhere and buy a Hawaiian shirt and say you're dressed like Bond. Come on. For a sartorial aspect of the film, the clothes are easily replicable. Now Peel has created their version of that turtleneck. Can't beat that. Along the lines of being able to buy things from the film is the merchandise. So this film, we saw like the die-cast cars, we saw some of the books like The World of 007, what else? I always tell the story to people when we talk about the lack of Bond merchandise, especially stateside. Right around the time this movie came out, I was traveling somewhere with my parents. We were at the airport and they sold the Jaguar, the T-Bird, and the Aston Martin. They're 1/24th scale, I think, die-cast like this, at the airport. I can't go to Target or any of the local biggest chain stores and find anything Bond except for maybe one or two of the Blu-rays. But back then, for Die Another Day, I could literally find toys, die-cast car models, books, DVDs at the airport. We need that back. That was a huge plus with Die Another Day. There was some good marketing with Die Another Day. Delectados. Or Delectados. That's not. Delectados, cigars that we see him smoking in Cuba. Those you can buy now. That's another thing. If you're a collector, if you're somebody watching this film, you're like, I wonder what kind of cigar he's smoking. Guess what? You can buy it. You can buy it now. You can literally buy Delectado cigars. That's cool as hell. They're fantastic. David, you owe me one. We were supposed to smoke it with the guy and the thing and the place, and I'll never forget it. You owe me one.
Bobby.
Look, we all go way back, and I owe you from the thing with the guy in the place, and I'll never forget it.
That was our pleasure.
I'd never been to Belize.
When I posted the promos for this video, many people commented and said, this movie is good up until blank. I've got up until the opening credits roll. I've got up until Cuba, up until Iceland, up until Halle Berry with the pair, you name it. For me personally, it's good up until Iceland. That's when everything falls apart. So you've got a good hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, I think, right? Iceland's ridiculous. I mean, kite surfing in a tsunami, even Pierce Brosnan thinks that's ridiculous.
Kite surfing in a tsunami. Oh.
The fencing scene is a great scene. Sans Madonna, it's a fantastic scene. It's a great scene. Get rid of Madonna, it's even better. All the London scenes, great scenes. Cuba scene, pretty good scene. At that point, you're not really fully seeing what the whole plot is. Icarus and all that isn't really a thing yet. So you're kind of just like, oh, it's a little eerie, him with the neon mask, and what is he doing? He's not fully transformed yet. Zhao is who I'm talking about. It's not fully transformed yet. You don't really know what's going on, so it's not as far-fetched and nuts yet. It's just a guy at what looks to be like a plastic surgery clinic getting just some weird Botox or something. So you don't know what's going on yet. Not bad. He's got an old classic car in there. I believe it's like a Ford. I think it's a Ford. Could even be a Ford T-Bird. I don't even remember. But whatever. At that point in time, we're still going strong. My opinion, Iceland is when it hits a dead. It's an ice palace, people. And it's a problem because one of the best pictures of Brosnan is him with that icy martini. And you just know he's standing at a bar made of ice, in a building made of ice, surrounded by chairs made of ice. But this is about what's good about Die Another Day. Let's move along. 2 songs. Well, 2 musically things. 1, London Calling. Fantastic song, and it's a great segue. Sitting on the airplane, sees the Gustav Graves ad, boom, London Calling comes in. And then when it kind of fades into David Arnold's score, which is the second part, which is also fantastic, comment below, but I know you think it's good. I've gotten a lot of people that agree with that too. And these people didn't even know what I was doing. People messaging me before this video came out saying David Arnold's score is fantastic. David Arnold is fantastic. And he followed it up with an even better one in Casino Royale, but it's great in this one. But the London Calling, fading into David Arnold's score, with Gustav plunging out of the helicopter with the Union Jack, you know, parachute. That's a good scene. But London Calling, I will never hear that song without thinking of that. And it's in Friends. I'm pretty sure it's in an episode of Friends, but it doesn't outweigh being in Die Another Day. So.
Looks like your man's not gonna make it.
Actually, he's right on time.
Lastly, the V12 Vanquish. No, not the Vanish, the Vanquish. This is a V12 Aston Martin. It's a fantastic car. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. It's a great car for this film. And it looks great in the ice chasing scenes. Ridiculous as they are, it looks great. The invisibility is dumb. It's very dumb. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the V12 Vanquish. And remember something else. Yes, when it's unveiled, it's in the old tube system out in London. But these are things you can visit in London. From a fan's point of view, you're like, if I ever go to London, or next time I'm in London, or if you live in London or Europe, you're like, hey, I'm just gonna go over and take pictures where he entered this train station. You know, I mean, stuff like that is cool. And then once again, we get this beautiful Aston Martin, which eventually had a die-cast model that kids loved. I mean, you're applying to so many people with this V12 Aston Martin. Honorable mentions. Halle Berry gets a lot of shit for being in this film. I wouldn't have won an Oscar for Monsters Ball and then jumped into Die Another Day. I get it. This is kind of the full-on proof that Bond films do have a real cachet to them, where you're now an Oscar winner and you're like, you know what? This script sucks, but I'm going to do it anyways because it's a Bond film. So Halle Berry probably shouldn't have done it, but she's still Halle Berry. Iconic scene of her coming out of the water in the orange bathing suit. Iconic scene when he's like, mojito. Everybody loves, I love that. Everybody knows I love that scene. I love that scene. The bird watching thing is a little dumb, but that's the Brosnan thing. It's cheeky. It's kind of like, come on here, you know? Last but not least, honorable mention, Kyle Barbeau. This is for you, pal. Michael Madsen. We got a reservoir dog in this film. Flying under the radar. Die Another Day. Still not my favorite. Will always hold a special place in my heart because it was the first Bond film I had ever seen in the theater. Saw it in the second row with my dad and 3 or 4 of my friends. Watching him kite surf in the second row. I literally, as I'm about to say it, I can feel a headache coming on. And I'm not even kidding. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.